This is Random Randy Savage from Code 45 Podcast, and you're listening to the Geek World All-Stars Podcast Network.
Broadcasting very fast and very dangerous from the planet Malastare. You are listening to So Wizard.
You're thinking people gonna die?
The only podcast to make the Kessel run in under 12 parsecs.
There'll be no one to stop us this time.
What's going on, everybody? It is time for episode number 285 of the So Wizard podcast. I'm your host, Joey DiCarlo. My co-hosts, the queen of all nerds, Aubrey Litchfield.
285? Who okayed that?
And the expert, Mr. Marquis Marcellus Reagans.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
You are listening to So Wizard Podcast, where three friends discuss the world of nerd, podcasting weekly on the Geek World All-Stars Podcast Network. This week, we've got some news, including our first look at Morbius. And then we're going to jump into Marcellus's I Hate You Now Watch pick, Mystery Team. Before we get into all that, how is everyone doing? Aubrey, we missed you last week. How the hell are you?
Class has started, so I've been pretty busy between that and we opened a new location at work. So been working a lot, going to school a lot, watching this shit movie.
Hey.
Spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, it was great.
Well, it's great to have you back. Marcellus, how are you?
I'm good. Been watching a lot of movies. Went to see 1917. Finally, said no to Star Wars. Actually went to go see something different based on Adam Wally Hawk's suggestion.
How was it?
It was phenomenal.
Me and Janine are trying to find time to go see that. So
it's really, really good. It's strange because it's a war movie, but there's hardly any war in it. And there's like very little war in there. But it's good. It's stunning achievement. Go ahead.
Will 1917 return in 1918?
It's going to be 1917 Part 2, the next chapter. They're going to just do a prequel in 1915. Just start at the beginning.
I mean, if you really were going to do a second 1917, wouldn't that be 3,834?
Double the casualties, double the war.
Double the fun. Awesome. What else did you see? Just 1917?
I went to see a movie from the director of Your Name, an anime that I absolutely love that came out a few years ago.
A what?
Anime.
Why don't you understand that anime belongs in the trash?
It's called A Weathering with You. And it's another teen romance with kind of scientific, kind of sci-fi elements to it. Fantasy elements to it, I guess you could say. It's a gorgeous movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't like it as much as Your Name. I was a little bit disappointed towards the end. But other than that, it's an amazing film. Aiko the Rayman definitely liked that movie too. So I'm gonna have some discussions with him about it. But I thought it was really good. So I saw that, and I saw Bad Boys for Life. Bad Boys. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Bad Boys, surprisingly. So cool.
And how are you doing, Joey?
I'm good. Just working a lot, sleeping a lot, less, and working some more. So today I got home from work. It's snowed up here in the wonderful state of Massachusetts. So I came home from work. I had a snow blow to get into the garage. Well, I mean, it wasn't a ton of snow, so I could have shoveled it, but I was just like, I don't fucking want to shovel. I shoveled literally like a line from the garage to the street, and I went, and I went back into the garage and got the snowblower.
Of course.
Fuck that shit. So then I snowblowed. I came inside, and I was gonna just go to bed, but I decided I'd watch Mystery Team in the morning. So I watched that, and then I slept for a couple hours. Then I went to work at my other job. Then I came home, and I ate supper, and watched and slept a little bit more. And got up, and here we are. So this is my life: piecemealed sleeping and working a lot. So
there you go.
Just trying to find time to sit down and watch Parasite with Janine, but we still have not found the time yet.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna watch that today. I thought it is available digitally, but only to purchase, not to rent. So I was shocked when I couldn't find it to rent. So that's why I didn't watch it. So yeah, if you want to buy it, it's definitely available to buy. If you want to rent it, you might have to wait a couple of weeks.
I don't know if that's the kind of movie you want to buy. I don't think it's something to watch all the time, but
yeah, well, it's reasonably priced, so I'll give them that. I was tempted, but yeah, if you want to rent it, I would say wait a couple of weeks.
All right. Well, before we get into the news, Marcellus, why don't you tell the listeners where they can find more So Wizard Podcast?
All right. So everybody can go to SoWizardPodcast.com where you will find new episodes every week, movie reviews from yours truly, Netflix and Amazon streaming and Hulu picks from our buddy, the awesome Adam Wallyhawk. You also find our merchandise there, so you can purchase some of our t-shirts and sweatshirts and look good while you're representing the show. Another great way to support our show is by doing your Amazon shopping through the link that we keep right on the website. You click on the Amazon logo, that big A, you do your shopping, you receive your products, and that way you'll be helping out our little podcast. You can also find our social media links there. We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star review while you're there. You can also find us on a Stitcher Radio app for your tablet or smartphone, Podbean, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and we also have a YouTube page with videos going up constantly from the awesome Adam Wallyhawk. You can also support us through our Patreon page, patreon.com/SoWizardPodcast. Support us with a little bit of funds and receive some bonus content from the group here. Shout out to everybody in the Geek World All-Stars Podcasting Network. Love you guys. Back to you, Joey.
Just to get a laugh out of yourself. Think about it.
Oh, it's my all-time favorite Christian quote. All right, Marcellus, let's hit it. What's going on in the world of nerd?
Yo, pump it up. It's time for the news. Yo, we getting ready to bring you the news, boy.
All right, so this week in the world of nerd, we got some Star Wars news, possibly. A little rumor that's been going around. It seems like our buddy Taika Waititi is possibly being considered to make his own Star Wars movie. The rumor has it that since he's doing such a bang-up job on the Mandalorian TV show, they're offering him a chance to direct his own Star Wars movie, which, of course, the guy is an Academy Award, or his movie is an Academy Award nominated movie, so he's living his best life right now. I would be psyched to see him do a Star Wars movie. I think he has a great film sensibility, and he might be able to bring some much needed joyfulness to the Star Wars universe, so that maybe the fanboys won't be so butthurt if they're laughing most of the time. So I'll be psyched to see him do anything in the Star Wars universe, even if it's more episodes of The Mandalorian. But I'm psyched about this. I don't know what you guys think about it. Aubrey, how do you feel about Taika Waititi doing a Star Wars flick?
I feel amazing. I
Really?
hope it happens. I would be so excited. That would be the best news ever.
All right, Joey, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm all in. Count me all in on that. I loved his episode of The Mandalorian that he did. Aubrey, do you finish the whole series?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I know.
Well, spoilers. As long as the movie doesn't have anyone punching Baby Yoda in it, I'll be happy.
That's fine. I like Baby Yoda can use a little roughing up. Toughen him up. It's a tough galaxy.
That's right. Got toughen that kid up. But yeah, I mean, has he? I don't think he's made a bad movie. Period. So I would, as long as he has an idea he wants to do, I'd be down for it. I just don't want them to just say, "You're really awesome. We're going to force you to do this thing." Just literally go. You can make a Star Wars movie, do whatever the hell you want, and then walk away. That's what I want them to do.
They're going to give him the Bosk prequel. They're going to give him
Forlom, a Star Wars story.
Exactly.
I think it would be the most obscure, awful character for him. have to do.
Right. Who's the
Anna Man?
What was the dude that was running through Cloud City with the ice cream maker? Make a movie about that.
Oh, Wilbur Hood.
Yes. Let's see
He's
that.
Not an ice cream maker.
One of my favorite.
Clearly saw in the first episode of The Mandalorian that it
right.
was some sort of like thing holding valuables.
Right. Exactly. I love that they brought that back for Mandalorian. It's amazing.
Yeah. It also sent the value of the action figure like through the fucking roof. It comes with that accessory. So
nice.
It went from being like a $2 figure to a $50 figure like overnight. So, a guy in an orange jumpsuit with a fucking ice cream maker for $50. Good lord. But yeah, no, Taika Waititi all in, definitely.
Yeah, he's doing post-production of his other movie right now, and then he jumps from that right into Thor: Love and Thunder, and then he's still attached to Akira in some aspects, so he still might be doing that. So it might be a while before we see him make a Star Wars movie. It might be some time. And who knows?
I don't think Akira is ever happening in our lifetimes. So.
He can take all the time he needs.
Yeah, will people even still like Star Wars when it's time for him to make his movie? That's the question.
Yes.
The Force is forever, Mark.
All right, well, we wish him the best. So then in other movies that are not actually going to happen, or I'm sorry, TV shows that are not going to happen, Amazon has pulled the plug on their Dark Tower TV show. Despite having such a huge rousing success with the movie that came out a few years ago. And they have other like fantasy shows that are already set up on Amazon already. That's probably going to suck up a lot of their money. But the Dark Tower TV show that they've been talking about for years, it looks like it's actually not going to happen, or at least it's not going to happen at Amazon. Now, Joey, I know you are a big supporter of the Dark Tower series. Are you disappointed that you're not going to get this at Amazon?
Super disappointed. I think they filmed a pilot, didn't they?
Yeah. No, they didn't film it, but well, actually, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I know that there's a script for the pilot that's, since Amazon's not going to be doing it, that script is going to be shopped around to other studios.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, how bad must that pilot have been? They dropped it, but yeah, Amazon's got a ton of money tied up in Lord of the Rings and the Wheel of Time, so I guess they didn't want to invest in this. It's really disappointing. The movie was such shit, and the books are so good, and it just seems like ready-made. Like, if it can't get made right now, it's never going to get made. This is like peak, like, nerd TV show. Mm-hmm. Like, every streaming service is desperately scrambling to, like, get anything they can and make a series out of it. So if it doesn't happen now, I don't think it's ever going to happen, which makes me even sadder. It's so good. Honestly, anybody out there wants to read some awesome books, like, grab the Dark Tower series. It's, even if you don't like Stephen King, and I don't like Stephen King books very much, it's phenomenal, but it's so sad that all we got was a shitty movie. I'm so mad. I'm just thinking about it now and I'm getting angry.
All right, Aubrey, what about you? How do you feel about Amazon pulling a plug on a Dark Tower series?
I just finished The Gunslinger not too long ago. So I mean, I haven't read anything else, so I haven't really invested in, like, I don't have much more emotion towards it. So it doesn't really matter to me. Maybe once I read more of the books, I'll care a little bit more. But having only read one book, it's not the worst thing for me in the world.
All right, yeah, and you're still getting a Lord of the Rings show from Amazon, so you know they got their Aubrey bases covered.
Yeah, exactly. I could care about nothing else.
45 seasons of the Wheel of Time. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I know, Joy, you were excited for that, right? Wheel of Time?
Kind of. It's the best 3 books stretched into 13 you'll ever read.
Good Lord. Oh, so that means it'll be perfect on Netflix then.
Yeah. We'll see. I love that series, but God, it's so nerdy. It almost feels like a step too far. But then again, Game of Thrones was like a phenomenon until they shat the bed in the last season. So, and who could have ever sat down and read those books and were like, oh yeah, this will be super popular and mainstream. So you never know. But God, reading that is just like, I mean, I've read the whole series a couple times now, and I can't believe like people would be interested in it. It's so nerdy. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, there's still Apple TV that's available, our Apple Plus, for another streaming site that might pick up. They might pick up the Dark Tower series. I don't know if they have a Stephen King show on there yet, but it seems like everybody else has a Stephen King property.
Oh, C isn't tearing it up.
I don't know. Does anyone know what the hell's going on Apple Plus or whatever it is?
I haven't even fire sticked any of their shows. That's all I need to say.
I heard C was good, and I heard that Jennifer Aniston morning show was pretty good. But what else is on there? Yeah, they could use like a Stephen King Dark Tower series on there.
Open up the bank book, Apple. You got plenty of money in there.
Seriously. All right. Okay, so now we got a couple of trailers to talk about. Speaking of streaming services, we got a first look at Lock and Key, based on a best-selling graphic novel. TV show. It was something that I've heard the title before, but I didn't know anything about it at all. I'm not going to go back and look at the books. I'm just going to watch the show as it is. But based on the trailer, it looks really cool. It has a really kind of a dark fantasy, almost like kind of remind me of like a Lemony Snicket, but like a more mature version of that. But I think the trailer looked cool, and it looks like they have a nice balance of special effects too. It looks like there's some money behind it. So I've never heard of it before, but I thought the trailer looked pretty badass. Aubrey, what did you think of the Lock and Key trailer?
So I've never heard of the graphic novels before, but watching the trailer, it looked like something that I would enjoy more as a graphic novel than a show.
Oh, okay.
Like it's a cool concept, but I don't feel like it's going to translate well into a TV show enough for me. I think I would enjoy it a lot more as a book than I would a show. Pretty much like video game shows. I don't enjoy them as shows. I enjoy them as video games. Just the way that they're interactive doesn't translate well into a show.
I gotcha. All right, Joey, what about you, man? How'd you feel about this trailer?
Well, it's funny you mention every streaming service needs a Stephen King. He's a Stephen King series because this is written by his son. So.
Oh, no way.
But yeah, the graphic novels are awesome, and they actually. This is just like almost talking about the same thing. They actually did film a pilot for this maybe 2 years ago.
Wow.
And it didn't get picked up. I think it was going to be on Hulu, actually, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It was going to be somewhere, but it didn't get picked up. And so that got scrapped. And now this is all brand new. And it looks great. I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait to sit down and watch it. Obviously, we'll do it on the show. But I really hope it's as good as the books, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Everybody out there, I know it looks a little kiddie. It's not as kiddie as it looks, so just give it a chance. It's definitely not Lemony Snicket or anything like that. So.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated with stories that take place between like different worlds, or like a door opens up a entranceway to another world. I love those type of stories. Xanadu, for instance. So.
Yeah, it opened up a world where movies were terrible.
I will defend that movie. That is the hill that I will die on. I don't care what anyone says. But yeah, Lock and Key starts February 7th, so it's pretty soon. So on Netflix, get ready for that. All right. So then we got another trailer for a movie that I'm sure we've talked about before. Jared Leto is Morbius. The Morbius trailer came out. It shows kind of like the origin story of Dr. Morbius. He's a guy who's has a disease where he's fading away and he's slowly dying. He uses vampire bat blood as a way to find a cure. And it not only does it cure him, it cures him big time. Gives him powers. Typical superhero origin story, but this one is about a blood-sucking vampire. And it has a few little nods to the Sony Spider-Verse, which is really strange. I don't know. The beginning of the trailer, they let you know it's from the studio that brought you Spider-Man and Venom. So as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh. But it looks like it fits right in with Venom. That kind of that mid-budget, cheesily acted comic book movie. So we're definitely going to go see it, but I'm not super excited about it. Joey, how did you feel about Morbius?
Oh, God, it looks just like Venom. It looks like 2004's hottest superhero movie.
Yeah.
I was dying. I literally like started chuckling out loud when it's like, from the studio that brought you Spider-Man. You didn't bring us Spider-Man. Stop it, Sony. They just licensed it. Marvel Studios made Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming. Sony had nothing to do with that.
They cashed a check. That's pretty much what they did.
That's right. From the studio that cashed a check for Spider-Man Far From Home. From the studio that brought you Amazing Spider-Man 2 and wanted to make an Aunt May movie comes Morbius. It looks very generic and cheesy. That's the best I can say. I don't like Jared Leto, so that's a huge like strike against it just to start. Like, I just don't like him, so that's bad. But it looks, like I said, like 2004's hottest new movie, and just the trailer was really weirdly paced. All of a sudden, like Michael Keaton's in the trailer.
Yep.
Like, that's cool, I guess, but like that seemed like it's the after credits scene and it's in the trailer.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, why are they showing this now?
Like, oof. That's how I felt about it. Oof. And just blah. I mean, obviously we're going to go see it, but just like, oh my God. I don't know. Maybe we'll walk in and the movie will just knock our socks off, but I'm not like even remotely excited about this at all.
All right, Aubrey, how about you? How do you feel about Jared Leto as Morbius?
So I remember Morbius in the animated Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like him as a character then because he's like super overdramatic and I shouldn't even say overdramatic. He's melodramatic. And I feel like that was portrayed really well in the trailer. Possibly because I don't like Jared Leto and I feel like that's just how he acts. So I think as a character choice, like that's a really good casting because I don't like either of them and I view them the same. I don't really know if there's enough of a story about Morbius to really make a movie about it. I think that's an odd decision on Sony's part, but then again, what good decision have they made except for casting Tom Hardy? So I'm like, why did you do this, Sony? That's kind of how I feel about it. I think that Morbius is a crap character. I think Jared Leto is a crap actor. And I'm confused why they thought that this would make money.
Wow.
We've already seen this movie. It's called Underworld. How I feel about it.
Yeah, Underworld had, what's her name?
Kate Beckinsale.
There you go.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale in tight leather. This has Jared Leto.
Yeah.
With no shirt on, so there's that.
Who wants to see that, though? Not me.
Your
target audience does not want to see this.
Wait, isn't he like a rock star? Doesn't he have like a band with like adoring fans and
30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah,
and even that band I don't like.
There you go. Soundtrack available from 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, pretty much. Like he's going to be singing, and they're going to do a weird music video of him. It's going to be like a hymn music video. You know, like the Wings of a Butterfly music video.
All right, I'm starting to get excited about the movie now. They're starting to sell it to me. I don't know. I feel like we just got a glimpse of our future of what the review of this movie is going to be. But I'm going to hold out hope that maybe this is going to be okay. Not great, but just okay.
The big Easter egg in the trailer was he walks by a poster of Spider-Man.
Right.
But it's a poster which is a image from the Spider-Man PS4 video game of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Right.
What?
That's right. It doesn't have to be. I mean, clearly it takes place in a Tom Holland Spider-Man universe because Michael Keaton is there.
That's all Sony could do, though. They couldn't get Marvel to release the costumes. So they're like, all right, I'm gonna do this one.
I still like to think that in the Sony Spider-Man universe, it takes place like I'm gonna say like 15 years from now, where Peter Parker is an adult, like a much older adult, and you can still have Michael Keaton in it. He could just be in jail. But everything that happens in the Sony, quote unquote, Sony Spider-Verse is happening down the road when Tom Holland is an adult, and they can just get another actor to play him, or not even show his face. Just get someone in a Spider-Man costume that they happen to have multiple copies of laying around on the Sony backlot.
I thought in this show, like, he just whined about this woman the whole time, and then there was some sort of love thing with that. Like, Peter Parker helped him get some girl or something that he was in love with, but he couldn't. I vaguely remember that being the storyline.
I don't know. I'm curious. Morbius 2 Breaking Dawn. Morbius 2 A New Moon. I'm waiting for a whole new vampire trilogy. Do you think that they're going to introduce Blade in this movie? That's what I want to know.
No.
No? All right.
They wouldn't make a big show at Marvel Studios San Diego Comic-Con panel and bring him out. Bring out Mahershala Ali as Blade, blah, 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 to have him appear in a shitty Sony movie. Unless it was Wesley Snipes' Blade. Might be in this.
Shit, there you go. Now you're talking. All right. So, so that's it. That's it for the news. All I got.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk all about Markellis' pick for I Hate You Now Watch, Mystery Team.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve.
And I'm Izzy.
And this is Everything I Learned from Movies. And tonight, like every night, we bring you questionable movies and pass the lessons that we've learned on to you, as well as we go over some great beer and funny third thing.
Yes, we're excellent beer reviewers, and as BJCP certified beer judges, we sort of know what we're talking about in regards to that. The movies?
So if you want to hear us talk about odd movies and Izzy talking about BJing,
woo!
Listen to us at eilfm.podbean.com. That's everything I learned from movies.podbean.com.
Hey honey, are you ready to pop that top? Woo! My top!
Oh yeah? Watch this.
Watch what?
And we are back. All right. Now, it's been a while since we've done I Hate You Now Watch on the main podcast. Who was the last person that went? What was the last movie we did?
I want to say it was the Brittany Murphy movie, I think.
Yes, it was me.
It was me.
Love and Other Disasters.
Yes.
All right. So if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, this is a semi-irregular series we do on the podcast where one of the hosts picks a terrible movie and forces the rest of us to watch it and react to it. Previous entries have been Twilight. Thanks, Aubrey. Grease
hey, that
2.
was like one of our best episodes.
it was. Grease 2 we had. Xanadu. Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. And now it's Markellis' turn. So we are going to be watching a movie called Mystery Team. Markellis, take it away. Lead us through the conversation on your pick, Mystery Team, because I had never even heard of this movie in my life until you brought it up. And I've heard of a lot of weird movies. So
so Mystery Team is a comedy that came out in 2009. And it's basically a goofy, kind of a slapsticky Naked Gun type of comedy about 3 kids who decided they're going to make a detective agency to help out the neighborhood. They usually solve mysteries like missing cats, missing footballs, just weird, goofy kid stuff. But this movie is a comedy, and it takes place in a small town where these kids are actually in high school, and they still think that they're 11 years old solving mysteries in a neighborhood. It's really goofy. It's one of the movies that I used to have when I worked at Blockbuster and they had the employee picks shelf. This movie was always on that shelf because I thought it was freaking hysterical when I saw it. It's awful as far as like a movie goes, but I think it's hysterical. So let's get some first impressions of the movie. What did you guys think of it once you got all the way to the end of it? Let's start with Aubrey.
I hated this movie.
What did
and
you
you knew that I would, because this is my least favorite type of movie ever, and it lived up to that. I hated it.
Mm-hmm. What did you hate most about it?
I hated the pacing. I didn't think it was funny at all. These types of movies eat at me because I don't find any sort of entertainment in them at all. I think they're stupid and they hurt my brain. And I spend most of the movie wondering how anybody could like these movies and what is so funny about them. Same thing happened when I watched Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
I hated it.
Yes.
Hated it. And it was so popular. And I was like, why? I don't understand this movie. It's stupid.
Napoleon Dynamite is a good reference. Joey, what did you think about this movie once you were done with it?
Yeah, I really didn't like this movie at all. I chuckled maybe once or twice during the movie. But otherwise, I was just sitting there kind of dumbfounded. Like it just wasn't funny like at all. It just felt like it was trying really hard. And then I would look at the time left on the movie, and I was like, all right, well, that wasn't so bad. And then like 15 minutes had gone by. It's like, oh, I'm only 12 minutes and 38 seconds into the movie. Okay. And there was like an hour and a half left. And I was like, oh,
It's exactly what I did too.
Oh, God. So, yeah, it got old real quick, really quickly.
Yeah, it is a long movie. It's 97 minutes long, so it is an epic story. It does take a while to get.
It's not like it's like Return of the King or something, but Jesus, like it needed to be like about 96 minutes shorter.
So the movie stars my homeboy Donald Glover, Childish Gambino himself, as the lead kid Jason.
He looks like he's 12 in this movie. I just wanted to say that.
DC Pearson, who he's popping up like he's always in things now. Most notably, he was the guy that was talking to Captain America and Black Widow in Civil War when they were at the Apple store trying to hack into one of the computers. It was like, oh shit, that's the dude from Mystery Team. I like that guy. He plays. All right. So Donald Glover plays Jason, the boy or the Master of Disguise. DC Pearson plays Duncan Wheeler, the boy genius, and Dominic Dierkes plays Charlie, the strongest kid in the world.
Are these friends of yours, Kelly?
No, better. We're the mystery team. My name's Jason, the Master of Disguise.
I'm Duncan, the boy genius.
And I'm Charlie, the strongest kid in town.
Ow! Oh! What is wrong with you?
Sorry.
And basically, they're seniors in high school who still think they're 10 years old. A little girl hires them to solve a mystery, and the mystery is find out who killed their parents. And then her older sister, played by Aubrey Plaza, shows up to bring her home, and says that she's missing a family heirloom ring from her parents. So now their mission is to go around town, try to solve the mystery of the missing ring and find out who killed their parents. Where they should go to the police and actually go to an actual adult to help, but they don't. They think that they're Fred and Scooby in the mystery gang trying to solve this case, and they work their way around the town to do it. And I thought everything about it was absolutely ridiculous and hysterical. Donald Glover as the Master of Disguise just cracked me up every time. What did you guys think of his disguises?
They were so stupid. And so there's a part where he's just like wearing a mustache, pretending to be his dad, and he's like, I know it's you, take off the mustache.
Excuse me, is this the principal's office?
Come in, Jason.
Oh, no. I am not Jason. I am Jason's father. And I just came down here to say that he will be punished. So there is no need to suspend him or call me Jason's father.
It's like, I don't understand why that's funny.
I love it. I thought it was hysterical. Him as a hobo. He dresses up as a hobo and he has like a stick with a handkerchief, like a red polka dot handkerchief like you see in a cartoon. He starts blowing a harmonica and he walks over to this other homeless guy and gives him a freaking brown milk jug.
Well, don't just stand there. Back me up on the brown jug.
Hey, what do you want?
I'm looking for Sam.
I'm Sam.
Oh, well, hoping to swap stories with you, my friend.
Oh my God. I love that. Joey, what did you think of his disguises?
I thought they were stupid, but I did one of the few times I laughed in the whole movie is when he was sneaking into the lumberyard and he had a mustache on and he walks by the guy and he's like, "Yep, I've got some wood. It's nature's metal." And I did like when I didn't think it was funny when he was talking to the hobo. Actually, I thought that was like it was like a 30-second scene and it still went on too long. But I did like when they went back to talk to the hobo and he was dead from shooting up heroin. That part was funny. But yeah, for the most part, it was pretty like, I don't know. It just got old quick, like a lot of things in the movie.
My favorite aspect of this movie is the fact that they think that they're 10 years old, but everyone else in the town knows that they're not. So they get to call them like stupid names, like the guy at the bowling alley just yells out to him that your haircut is stupid. Get the fuck out of here. I love that. I love like that kind of cartoon meets real world aspect of it.
Hi, my name's Sammy. I'm new to this school. Know where I can get some pie around here?
Oh, fuck the mystery team.
So they do go around. They do find clues. They do eventually come across more mature situations, R-rated situations that they probably wouldn't normally be associated with. It kind of reminded me of if Quentin Tarantino did like a Scooby-Doo cartoon. That's what it reminded me of. And eventually they do wind up solving the mystery, figuring out who killed the parents, and returning the ring to Aubrey Plaza. Joey, what did you think of Aubrey Plaza in it?
Oh, God. It was the only thing that kept me watching.
Yeah, I knew there was something. There had to be
something. I love Aubrey Plaza. I bet she smells amazing.
Aubrey, was there any jokes in the movie at all that worked for you? Bobby Moynihan throwing ice cream sandwiches at them.
No. And I don't even understand why I'm not amused by any comedies either, and it kind of bothers me. Because I'm like, man, I don't have a bad sense of humor. What is my problem? But I've never found these types of movies funny, even when I was young enough to be naive enough to find them funny. Like, I never, ever liked these types of movies. I don't understand. Is there something wrong with me? Like, I don't get it. I laugh at everything except for comedies.
Except for comedy movies, they're not funny.
The funniest thing to me in the whole movie was when they were driving in the van with the drug dealer and his girlfriend, and she's like, "I'll take the wheel." He's like, "Get off me, you cunt." She's like, "Don't call me a bitch." And she goes flying out of the car and hits her face at a stop sign. I'm just thinking about it. That was very funny. That was well done. But otherwise, there wasn't very, very little that I laughed at in the movie.
I liked that whole scene with the drug dealer. He goes to his girlfriend. He's like, they show up to the house in like collegiate high school outfits, and they're like, "Hi, we're high school students, and we would like to buy some cocaine." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever, come on in." He sits them down, and he goes to her, and he's like, "Don't suck their dicks." Goes away, gets on the phone, but before he leaves, goes right back to her. "Do not suck their dicks." As soon as he leaves, she goes and sits down next to him, and they cut away to him on the phone call, on his other phone call. When he comes back in the room and he sees those two guys, and he's like, "So what do you guys want? You guys want heroin? Are you guys trying to fuck me?" And they're like, "What?" And then the girl goes, "He said, do you want to fuck me?" I was dying. I love that. I love her. I think this movie has like a ton of really stupid jokes. When they go to the strip club and one of the girls is just dancing on one of them, and he's like, "Just give her $1, maybe she'll go away." So he takes out $1, and then another girl pops up out of nowhere and starts dancing on the second guy. And he's like, "Oh my God, they're like pigeons." I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Where's the crickets sound effect?
So this is one of the first movies of Donald Glover. It didn't do well, obviously.
Shockingly, it didn't do well.
Shockingly, it did not make a lot of money. But I think it is like a cult hit. I know I love it. I can watch this movie over and over again. And I have the DVD. I have multiple copies of the DVD. So maybe a lucky winner, if we ever do a So Wizard podcast contest, maybe you'll win a copy of this awesome movie called Mystery Team.
It'll be the last time they ever listen to this show.
All right, so
there will be no people entering.
No, I picked this movie because I knew that you guys would hate it, and I knew that I would. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I just wanted to. I wanted an excuse to watch it again. So I feel like I succeeded. I feel like I did a really good job, especially because I know you guys absolutely you hate it to the point that you can't even describe the hatred for it.
It was so long. It felt like it was 4 hours long. Did you feel that way, Aubrey, when you're watching it? Like it was never going to end?
Yes. I was 15 minutes into the movie. I was like, cool. I got to be like 45 minutes to a half hour. Nope. 15 minutes into the movie. Like, you serious?
Like, it was funny a little bit at first, then it was like, okay. And then, like, it just kept going. And it was the same fucking shit the whole movie. And I'm like, oh, God, when is this going to end? Like, what's happening? It just never got better.
I really wanted to take notes while I was watching it, but I was laughing too hard. And I couldn't stop.
Jesus.
So I immediately wanted to watch it again, but I didn't have enough time.
Don't you have a copy of the DVD in each room in your house, according to you?
I do. All right, so let's give it a rating. Scale from 0 to 5, 5 being the best. Aubrey.
It's a 0. I will never watch this movie again.
Awesome.
0. That's really low for you.
I know I'm an easy grader too, and I will never watch this movie again. Even if it's on TV and I have nothing else to do, I will not watch this movie again.
Believe it or not, out of the 3 movies that I had to choose from, this is the best one. So I feel very proud of a 0 score. Joey, what about you, dude?
I'll give it a 1 for the couple times I laughed and for how incredibly attractive Aubrey Plaza is. What was that noise?
She wasn't. Okay, yeah, she's cute. She wasn't really that cute in this movie. You want to see her?
No, but she just is. So.
I was trying to think of the other movie that she's in where she's like
Dreams,
super smoking.
Child's Play.
No, not that one. Something like Ingrid Goes West or something like that.
I never watched that, but
oh my God, that movie is not good. But Jesus, she's hot in it. Like the hottest that I've ever seen her. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so that's it. Mystery Team, 2009.
Wait, where's your score?
Oh, I give this shit a 6 out of 5. I love this movie.
Oh, Jesus.
I fucking love this movie.
Oh,
yeah. I wish that I could find something that's like off about it, but no. It's been 11 years and I still love it.
How did you find this movie? Did you just pick it up at the video store and that was it?
Yes.
That was it. You just were like, oh, this looks cool, and then it became your favorite movie.
Well,
had Donald Glover in it. I must.
I always try to find, when I was working at the store, I was always trying to find like those unique movies that, that no one really knows about, no one really talks about, those kind of like hidden gems. And this is one of those movies that I picked up. It just seemed silly. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll check it out. It might be funny. And within the first minutes when I was trying to convince Aubrey Plaza that he's a good detective, look at the size of his magnifying glass. Like, I'm like, this is awesome. I love this movie. It might speak to me because of my Arrested Development of me, being an adult but still thinking I'm a kid. There might be some personal issues in there, but I fucking love it. I love this movie. So, yeah, I'll give it a 5 out of 5.
That was a painful watch. That was painful.
And like I said, out of the 3 that I was going to choose, this is the better one. This is the one I'm like, at least this one has Aubrey Plaza, so it can't be that bad.
Well, it's my turn to pick a movie next time, so you have no idea what you've brought upon yourself, Mark.
Nah, I don't care. I watch Mystery Team. I could pat myself on the back. I feel very happy with myself.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to check it out, it is available on Hulu right now.
Don't bother.
Save yourself. And also, Marcellus and Aubrey, prepare yourself because I am going to unleash hell upon you. It's my turn for the next one, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to keep it under wraps to myself. But Mark, that something bad is coming, right?
I'm sorry. After the Christmas specials, I feel like I can take on anything at this point.
You made it through a Christmas light.
Yeah.
The Christmas light was inside you, and you survived.
I feel like I can take on almost anything. I feel like Dak in Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Awesome. So let's wrap it up. Before we tap it up, and let's get some recommendations for the listeners out there. Aubrey, what do you got?
Don't watch Mystery Team.
That's it?
Yep. Movie sucks.
All right, Marcellus.
Yeah, speaking of really bad comedies on Hulu, Spaced is on there. Edgar Wright's British TV show from 21 years ago is when it came out, because they just did a 21 anniversary retrospective. Simon Pegg, Nick Frost. If you want to see where like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and Scott Pilgrim and World's End, where that type of the original basis for that, like the impetus of those ideas came from. Spaced is an hilarious TV show starring Simon Pegg, and I think it's only about 8 episodes, but it touches on pop culture, and it gives a really good idea of where Edgar Wright is going in the future. So yeah, it's on Hulu. It's awesome. I only wanted to watch like a couple episodes, and I wound up watching like almost all of them.
Nice. I've heard nothing but good things about that. I've never watched it, so maybe I'll add that to my watch list.
No, you're gonna hate it.
Oh, never mind then. Is it at least funnier than Mystery Team?
I don't know. I think I put them both on a super high level, so take that with a grain of salt. You take out of that what you will.
I guess I won't watch it then. All right. Well, I will suggest that everyone goes to SoWizardPodcast.com, where they can find the podcast every week. Links to all our social media accounts on the right-hand side of the page. Movie reviews, streaming picks, so much more. SoWizardPodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Just about anywhere you find podcasts under the sun, we'll be there. Check out our YouTube channel, YouTube, and search So Wizard Podcast. Weekly free exclusive content on there, direct from Adam Wallyhawk. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/So Wizard Podcast. You can monetarily support the show and get extra exclusive episodes. This month is going to be our review of Cats. It's the only way that you can get to the Heaviside layer and listen to our review of Cats is on Patreon. So check it out. I will recommend you, if you haven't seen it yet, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, get yourself to the movies. Just re-expanded. Check out Jojo Rabbit. Just nominated for a bunch of Oscars. Close to my favorite movie of last year. So I just think more people need to see it. Every time I bring it up to people, I get some kind of weird resistance from some people. I don't know if you guys have experienced this. And they're like, oh, I don't want to watch that. Like, it's really awesome. So maybe take a chance, go see it at a matinee or something. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. Next week on the podcast, we're going to be counting down the top 5 movies of the past 10 years, according to us. That'll be next week on the show, but that's going to do it for this week on the show, episode 285 of the So Wizard Podcast. I've been your host, Joey DiCarlo. My co-hosts, the queen of all mystery teams, Aubrey Litchfield.
So long.
And the expert, Mr. Marcellus Reagan.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mystery Team came out right underneath the decade mark, so I can't include it for next week's episode, but I wish I could. Everyone have a great week. Wakanda forever.
We'll see you guys next week. Good journey.